Hello friends, Steven Beddall here. Welcome back to this series where we explore Cubase plugins in a practical, hands-on way with a focus on real-world production and mixing scenarios. In today's video, we're taking a look at the EQ-P1A plugin. This is a vintage style EQ which is designed to emulate the classic Pultec EQ-P1A hardware. I'll walk you through what it is, how it works, what makes it different from other EQ plugins, and a few practical ways to use it in your mixes. Let's jump right in. So one thing to understand about the EQ-P1A is that this type of EQ isn't so much about precision, it's about character. If you're looking for a more surgical type EQ, you might be better off using something like Frequency 2. Rather than being a surgical EQ, think of the EQ-P1A as being a tone shaping tool. It's designed to enhance and shape in a really musical way. What makes the EQ-P1A really interesting is that it doesn't behave like a typical digital EQ. When you make adjustments, the curves will interact in a more complex and musical way compared to other modern digital EQs, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. Before I do, let's just quickly run down the interface here, which is very simple. On the left side here, you have the low frequency section, and this consists of three controls. You've got the boost and attenuation knobs, and the low frequency selector, which ranges from 20 to 100 Hertz. So using this knob, we select the target area, and then we can choose to boost, attenuate, or do both at the same time. And you might think intuitively, wouldn't that just cancel each other out? But in fact, boosting and attenuating at the same time creates a shaped curve, which can result in a subtle dip in the low mids, while still keeping the weight of the low end. I'll show you how this works too in a minute. It's really interesting. That interaction is actually a big part of the classic Pultec sound. Moving over to the high frequency section, you've got the high boost knob, the bandwidth knob, and the high boost frequency selector, which ranges from 3 to 16 kilohertz. So this knob will set where the boost is happening, the boost knob will control how much you're adding, and the bandwidth control adjusts how wide or narrow that boost is. And we also have a separate high frequency attenuation section. Using this knob, we can choose a frequency which ranges from 5 to 20 kilohertz, and we can attenuate with this knob using a broad smooth shelf. And just like the low end, these knobs interact in interesting ways as well, especially when you're boosting and attenuating different parts of the high frequency range. And then lastly, we also have an output control, and this is just your overall gain stage. Okay, so enough talking, let's test this out on the mix bus of this track. In this case, I'm actually using a preset called Mix Bus 2. Let's quickly compare this mix with and without the EQ-P1A. Here we go. This is actually a great preset for this mix. It's really interesting to hear how much presence it's adding to the bass, and it also adds a bit of air and sparkle. So as you can see in this preset, we're boosting and attenuating with the low frequency knob at 60 Hertz. And we also have the high boost frequency at 12.5 kilohertz. We're boosting there with a very wide bandwidth. I really like what it's doing to the bass. I'm not sure I want to push it any further, but let's just play the mix and adjust the boost here and just listening to what it does. So you can hear what a massive difference that makes just to boost it up to about 6 or so. I think we're in the right spot around 4. So like I mentioned earlier, something interesting happens when you boost and attenuate at the same time. And you may have noticed that when the EQ-P1A is active, we get a bit of a dip in the mid-range. And just to give you a visual representation of what's happening here, I'm using this EQ analyzer tool. Right now you're seeing pretty much a flat curve. I've got everything zeroed out on the EQ-P1A. With the low frequency knob at 60 Hertz, if I make that boost and bring it up to basically where it was before, around 4, you'll see that represented here in this curve, of course. But watch what happens when I adjust the attenuation knob. So bringing it up to around 4, we get this mid-range dip. Okay, so kind of interesting the way that works. Loading up this Mix Bus 2 preset again, we can see what's happening here with this curve. So we've got this high-end boost here as well, which is why, of course, we can hear the mix kind of open up in the top end. So I think the EQ-P1A works great on the mix bus. If your mix is a little dark, it can help brighten it up a bit. Or maybe you want to enhance the low end. It's great for that too. I also use it quite often on vocals and acoustic guitars as well. In fact, I'll show you an example of that right here. I've got it applied to an acoustic guitars group. I'm making a low end adjustment at around 70 Hertz and boosting the highs at around 8 kilohertz. So let's quickly A/B with and without the EQ. Again, just a nice way to add a bit of low-end depth to those guitars and a little sparkle. So that's a look at the EQ-P1A. It's a beautiful and colorful EQ. Even small adjustments can have a big impact because of how broad the curves are. If you're used to modern EQs, this one might feel a little bit different because the EQ-P1A isn't so much about precision, it's about musicality, but that's exactly why it's worth learning about. I find it especially useful if you want something to feel more polished without overthinking it. If you found this helpful, stay tuned for more videos in this series and check out some of the other plugin deep dives on this channel. I'll see you next time. Take care.